The top 10 Godzilla movies ranked. Number 10. Destroy All Monsters, 1968. Destroy All Monsters, released in 1968, features an epic showdown akin to a WWE Battle Royale, starring 11 monsters including Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Manila, Baby Godzilla. Set in a world where global peace reigns and monsters reside peacefully on Monsterland, the plot takes a turn when alien invaders known as the Killock seize control of the monsters to wreak havoc on Earth. This classic Toho Films premise was later echoed in the Monsterverse Godzilla, King of the Monsters 2019, where Dr. Emma Russell uses technology to control monsters like Ghidorah and Rodan for her own agenda. The original's climactic monster battle remains one of the most memorable moments in early kaiju cinema. Number 9. Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. Since their cinematic debuts in 1933 and 1954 respectively, King Kong and Godzilla have evolved into iconic kaiju figures. Godzilla's rise as the king of the monsters in 1954 overshadowed King Kong's earlier reign as the king of the beasts. Their first showdown in the 1962 film, King Kong vs. Godzilla, showcased Godzilla's classic form against a somewhat comical Kong, leading to an entertaining clash where Kong emerged victorious. In 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong, the Monsterverse brought these titans together again, delivering the anticipated battle between Godzilla's atomic power and Kong's resilience. Despite their differences, they ultimately teamed up to defeat MechaGodzilla, marking a triumphant moment for fans. Their ongoing alliance promises more monumental adventures in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Number 8. Shin Godzilla 2016. Godzilla, since its 1954 inception, has evolved through numerous films and reboots. From battling Mothra in the 1960s to facing MechaGodzilla in the 1970s, each era brought new adversaries and themes. The franchise's resilience was evident in the 2014 American reboot and the 2016 Toho release Shin Godzilla, which reimagined the monster in contemporary contexts like nuclear disaster and bureaucratic chaos. These films reflect Godzilla's transformation from a metaphor for nuclear devastation to a complex symbol of environmental and societal challenges, blending horror, sci-fi, and social commentary across decades of cinematic evolution. Number 7. Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla, 1974. In the 1974 film Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla, Godzilla faces a robotic version of himself. Built by ape-like aliens from the third planet of the black hole to conquer Earth, MechaGodzilla is a cybernetic organism with living tissue over a metal endoskeleton, possibly inspiring the T-800 Terminator. This alien superweapon, made of space titanium, features missile-launching fingers, space beam eyes, and rocket-powered feet. Despite the formidable threat, Godzilla teams up with King Caesar, a giant ancient deity, to destroy the extraterrestrial invader. The movie was released in the US as Godzilla vs. the Bionic Monster, and in the UK as Godzilla vs. the Cosmic Monster. Number 6. Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster 1964. Of all of Godzilla's enemies, none is more deadly than Ghidorah, a three-headed dragon capable of destroying planets. In the 1964 film Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster, Ghidorah arrives on Earth after annihilating Venus, changed to Mars in the American version for unknown reasons. The fifth Godzilla movie is significant for shifting Godzilla's role from humanity's enemy to a benevolent protector. Already a beloved character, Godzilla became even more adored as a hero. In the film, Godzilla teams up with former foes Mothra and Rodan to defeat Ghidorah and send the monster back into outer space. Number 5. Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, 1995. The 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destoroyah is one of the most intense and emotional entries in the franchise. Godzilla's heart, having absorbed too much radioactive uranium, has turned into a melting nuclear reactor that threatens all life on Earth. Meanwhile, mutated Precambrian organisms emerge from the sea and combine into human-sized crab monsters known as Destoroyah. Tying back to the original 1954 Godzilla movie, Destoroyah was mutated by the oxygen destroyer that killed the first Godzilla. Eventually, Destoroyah merges into its ultimate form, a massive laser-firing flying monster. The final battle is heartbreaking. Godzilla Jr. is killed, and after defeating Destoroyah, Godzilla succumbs to his thermonuclear condition. In a hopeful turn, Godzilla Jr.'s body absorbs the resulting radiation and is reborn as the new Godzilla. Number 4. Mothra vs. Godzilla, 1964. Number 3. Godzilla 2014. The first American attempt at a Godzilla movie in 1998 was a disaster, underperforming at the box office and infuriating fans. However, in 2014, America redeemed itself with Godzilla, a well-received film that launched the Monsterverse. Godzilla doesn't just show, it unveils. It builds sequences gradually, withholding important information until the end of a scene or sequence. This modern take benefited from advanced CGI and captured the essence of what made Godzilla beloved. Featuring a strong story of Godzilla defending humanity against two parasitic Mutos, the film reconnected with fans and revitalized the franchise. Number 2. Godzilla Minus One 2023. In 2023, Toho released Godzilla Minus One, a critically acclaimed retelling of Godzilla's origin set in post-World War II Japan, influenced by the US atomic bombings and nuclear tests. The film, praised for its visuals and story, is one of the most terrifying in the franchise and the highest-grossing Japanese Godzilla movie, earning $106.1 million. The human story not only holds actual bearing on the overarching story, but is engaging as well. The film addresses many heavy topics and themes across its runtime, handling them very well and incorporating them into the overall narrative both skillfully and effectively. Number 1. Godzilla 1954. The 1954 movie Godzilla is crucial as it started a 70-year multimedia franchise. The original black and white film is scarier and more ominous compared to the later color films, despite the limited 1950s special effects. It convincingly depicted a giant monster destroying Tokyo. Released in the US in 1956 as Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the film featured actor Raymond Burr. The Japanese version contains social commentary on America's nuclear weapons use, which was removed in the American version. Both versions are excellent introductions to the iconic monster.